This year I decided to sell this property so I could move on to bigger and better things. So my first goal is to repaint these kitchen cabinets. Now I painted them blue back in 2019 and now they need a whole overhaul. I obviously did not do things right. So I'm not a professional, but this time I'm taking my time and doing things the right way. So today I need to strip the paint in the kitchen on the kitchen cabinets, finish the hardware, and I think I'm going to be able to sand, so today's going to be a long day. I learned that you do not have to strip the paint off the cabinets. You can just go ahead and sand the imperfections and just make sure you have a good primer. Now, I watched a couple of videos and I did not know that it was going to take me about a week to strip all the paint off and sand to get the cabinets smooth enough to actually paint. If y'all don't know, primer will not cover imperfection, and you need to make sure that your cabinets or anything is smooth before you decide to take that next step. This project was a bit more time consuming because I have tenants currently staying there and I needed to clean up by 3 p.m. And when I say clean up, I mean everything needs to be off the floor and the kitchen needed to be up to par so they can partially use it. Now, people were asking me how I was able to do this with tenants there, and it was only because we bartered. So they wanted to end the lease a few months earlier, and I said if they allow me to get the place ready now, we can just go ahead and do that exchange. So they definitely didn't have a problem with me coming in, but I was there daily for about 3 weeks because I was doing this on my own, and it was a lot of work, but I made sure that these cabinets look perfect. Being a landlord is not for the weak, especially if you're managing everything on your own. Now, this property is about 45 minutes away, and anytime I have a contractor come out or do some work or they need to fix something, I'll make sure that I'm there before they finish so I can make sure that they do what they said that they're supposed to do and we're good to go. So, too many times something has failed based on them touching things they weren't supposed to, or they just did a halfway job. In this business, we trust absolutely no one. So I wanted to capture the progression of the paint stripper because I did a really good job. Just make sure you have a mask on because the fumes can be strong. So I started my day by opening up the kitchen windows and the garage door so everything can air out. Now, on top of the cabinets, I decided to paint the hardware as well, just prime and paint. I was constantly busy because while I was painting something, I was waiting for something else to dry or sanding something else. Now, here's a little snippet of me walking the tenant's pup. If y'all don't know, I'm a pup mom, so whenever I was taking my little breaks, I would just walk her just to get a little bit of fresh air as well. It's lunchtime. It doesn't feel like I did much of anything, but I actually did a lot. I'm about to treat myself and get Whataburger because I'm hungry and I need some energy to be able to sustain myself while I'm doing some work because this is long and I'm trying to get everything done by 4 o'clock, so I have another 4 hours to go. So as you see, these cabinets are stripped all the way down. I use the Clean brand paint stripper, and based on my research, it's the best, but let me know if you have a better one. I learned with sanding, you start off at a lower grit, then you work your way up. So I've been working on a project for 3 days. I'm trying to revamp my rental cabinets and update them. And I'm telling you, this is a lot. I didn't think it was gonna be this bad. I had to strip paint off. I still haven't finished stripping all the paint off. Then I gotta prime and sand, and I've been scrubbing and rubbing and smacking it down. And I don't know if anybody notices when you go to a construction site, you see beer bottles all around. Now I know why, because I feel like I need a little bit of liquor. I had to sand between each primer coat, which I did 2 coats on everything, and I used a higher grit on those because you want to smooth it out and not just knock any of the primer off. So as you can see, I'm not a professional. I should have had the proper clothing, and I ended up jacking up my tennis shoes, so those definitely don't get seen anymore. Upon researching, I noted Sherwin-Williams Emerald line is one of the best paints for kitchen cabinets. So I wanted to do a little color blocking, so I did clean linen on the top and sable on the bottom. I didn't know how this was going to look, but I was going with it. Now, this is one that is a little bit more expensive, but I can tell you there is a big difference. It's a self-leveling paint, so when I thought I sprayed too much and needed to sand once I came back the next day, everything was really nice and smooth. I was like, okay, now this is perfect in my opinion for beginners because we definitely will make mistakes. I can honestly say that I'm proud of the job I did on the cabinets. It took so much time, so I ended up hiring somebody to do the top. They ended up complimenting me on the professional job, and I definitely patted myself on the back. Even though I did a good job, I'm not really feeling this color scheme. Now I'm trying to figure out what I could change to align because I'm definitely not repainting these cabinets. Maybe I might change the hardware out again, but